All right, guys, Mike White here, your high performance coach, along with Jeff Hauptman, our high performance chef, and welcome to another episode of Acoachnchef. Hey, guess what? This is Father's Day edition.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yep.
happy Father's Day.
Same to you, Michael, and all
Thank
the other
you.
fathers out there
That's right.
on this day.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Welcome to this edition of Acoachnchef, where we definitely, want to honor our fathers, all right, on this particular day. Now, today, typically on Father's Day, Jeff,
Yep.
it's a hot day,
Yes.
typically,
Yeah,
right?
it is here.
And so cooking, indoors or outdoors is typically something that people are going to do. But sometimes it's just nice to have a day where everything just seems refreshing, right? Where nothing is hot, everything feels cold.
Yep.
You don't really want anything hot. So what do you think, Jeff? What do you got planned for today?
Yeah. So, again, Father's Day is usually if families gather at home, it's usually on the grill.
Yes.
And it's the dads that usually do the grill.
That's right.
And so I was going to take a little holiday. And
I'm taking a holiday.
rather than do the grill, it was like you said, we're going to serve a cold meal tonight.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a gazpacho soup.
Gazpacho. Okay,
Gazpacho,
now.
yes.
Okay, look, real quick. Is it gazpacho or is it gaspacho?
Two spellings.
There you go. It could be either one.
Gazpacho or Gaspacho.
There you go.
Gazpachos are two spellings.
And either one's acceptable.
Yep.
And origin of this particular dish is
Spain.
Spain. Okay. And so what is it for?
And actually the soup is a cold soup and it was originated to be eaten on hot summer days.
And so there you have it, folks.
So, yes.
How perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So what are we going to have in our gazpacho?
Yeah. So gazpacho is a puree of tomatoes, classically tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and some garlic, some onion, and all of which we have here. But I'm going to add my little twist to it, and I'm going to add some fennel. I'm going to add some daikon radish, maybe a little serrano jalapeno pepper,
Okay.
and some lemon juice. And so that we're going to make a puree of those vegetables.
Okay. So all of those vegetables are going to be pureed.
Raw.
Right,
Correct.
raw.
Everything's raw.
All right, and so we're going to talk about some technique there for doing that because there's some special tools for doing that kind of thing.
Yep.
Because you can't do that with just a regular old knife. Right? Typically, if you've been with us, you guys know we use a cutting board. We have two knives. We use
Which
vegetable
will come into
peelers.
play because
Absolutely, but now we got to bring in a special machine. So we're going to talk about that. Now, what are we bringing in to do the puree?
well, it's what's called an immersion blender. Okay, because we want a nice fine puree. And we could use a food processor, but a couple of reasons why I've chosen not to. One is the food processor has a limited capacity, so I
Yes.
would have to make several batches with all these vegetables.
Yes.
And the other thing is the efficiency and the effectiveness of the immersion blender to make a smooth puree.
It will make a nice,
And I can put
smooth
everything
blend.
in one large bowl or pot and then get the blender in and just puree everything at once and taste it and then know if I wanted to add more garlic or add more salt or so. So
That's right.
it's
And we
easier.
talked about that.
Correct.
Because, in the food processor, which is a great tool, we'll talk about the tool because we've used it before, but we want to start bringing that out more and start talking about that particular tool. But with this particular tool, we can do a large volume, whereas in the food processor, we're limited to a certain amount of volume, and we would have to do, for several people, we would have to do this in batches. Whereas
Right.
here, with this particular tool, we can do this in large batches.
Yeah, we'll show you. Yes.
Right?
And it's an advantage over the immersion blender rather than a stand-up blender because again, the stand-up blender has a jar that's
limited capacity.
It's a limited capacity.
That's
With
right.
the immersion blender, you'll see, I'll put in all the vegetables in one pot and then just keep working the blender until.
That's right.
Until
And one of the
everything
nice things too about the immersion blender
Yes.
is that today we're using it on cold dishes, but it's one of the times where
yeah.
if you need it for a hot dish, it's actually safer to use that
Yes.
than to try and pour something hot into a food processor or into a blender.
That's
if
totally
you want to
correct.
try and puree
That's right.
or emulsify a soup, a vegetable soup, trying to do it that way, hey, that's hot. That can be, very cumbersome and everything.
Oh, and dangerous.
And kind of dangerous, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So with this immersion blender, you literally can do it right there in the pot. You're not going to hurt it.
Yes.
It's going to do a beautiful
It
job.
makes a wonderful puree, and we'll
Yes.
show you that.
And we're definitely going to
But
show
the
you
soup
guys how this works.
is more than a puree, Mike.
That's
The
right.
soup- We'll also use the cutting board and the knife because all of the vegetables that I'll put inside the puree, I'm going to make a little dice of and put those
Excellent.
in with the puree. So
Excellent.
there's some texture to it.
That's right.
So cucumbers and red peppers and some red onion, all these things. So there's a bit of a chew and a textural.
And I am
component.
so glad you brought that part up, because we're not going to talk about it right yet, because that's the third part, right? But that is going to lend itself to the third part of this dish.
Yes.
All right. So okay. So far we've talked about the gazpacho or gazpacho.
Either one.
Right. And we're going and we're going to be talking about the immersion blender and how to use that to make that particular dish.
Yes.
All right. But then we're also going to have another part of this dish. And what's that going to be, Jeff?
Are you talking about the enhancements? Is that?
No, not yet. No, we're going to talk about the shrimp. The shrimp.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll hit that later.
So anyway, to balance today's meal, it's essentially we're going to do soup and salad.
That's right.
But the salad is going to be a bay shrimp salad. Now,
A bay shrimp salad.
So we thought about the grilling
That's right.
shrimp, and making that part.
Because
of
we
tonight's
can
meal.
do that. You and
Because we
I,
can
hey,
do
look,
that.
we're very skilled. We would love to marinate some shrimp, put them on a grill.
We've done it.
We've done
We've
it.
done that.
And we could have done a very nice, beautiful, cold, shrimp salad thing. But we decided, you know what? Hey, let's give everybody a break. It's Father's Day.
That's right.
Right?
Let's give ourselves a break.
Let's give ourselves a break.
That's
but
right.
you saw some great shrimp, though.
Yeah, these were wild-caught Oregon bay shrimp. And for those that don't know, I live in Oregon. I live in Ashland, Oregon. And when I saw that, it was case closed as far as whether I was going to buy whole shrimp and grill them and slave over the grill,
Yes.
or if I was just going to buy these beautiful, plump wild-caught Oregon bay shrimp.
Which you know are going to be good.
I've had them before.
Yeah, you already
I've had
had them.
up
You
there.
already knew they're good, so you already
Right.
automatically knew
Right.
this is going to make a great dish.
Right.
All right, so what's going to be in that, Jeff?
I'm going to use some avocado mayonnaise. I'm going to use some umabushi plum vinegar, maybe some lime juice, maybe some Old Bay seasoning. So that's how we'll get our flavor into it.
Excellent.
And then how we're going to serve that is we have some radicchio leaves, we have some endive leaves, and I couldn't fit all that on our platter, our abundance from the market.
Well, we've
yesterday,
also got that butter lettuce
which
too,
is what I was going to say.
right? Yeah, we got the butter lettuce. So we'll have the butter lettuce, the endive, the radicchio. Then we're going to serve all of that on.
That's right.
Plus, we're going to have the soup. Oh my God, everything sounds absolutely fantastic. I
Yep.
can't wait. It's going to be a cold dish, but then
Yes.
we're going to have a platter of what we're going to call what exactly? They're enhancements, but what are they?
Right.
Exactly?
Well, this is a way to add more texture and more richness to our soup and our whole meal. So I'm going to put out some goat cheese. I'm going to put out some avocado. I was thinking of chopping some macadamia nuts. And was I leaving something out?
Well, I mean, we were also talking about some herb and everything,
Oh,
right?
herbs from the garden,
herb from the garden, all that kind of stuff.
or a
But
given,
basically, this
or
was
a
going to be a
given.
platter that we were going to put together to
and
enhance
olives
the
as
soup.
well. Yes.
Right? We were going to enhance the soup, so we were going to call them soup enhancements.
Correct.
To go with the soup, the gazpacho.
Yeah.
Plus, we're going to have that the shrimp salad. That's
shrimp,
going to be
yes.
absolutely delicious.
Oh, and then there's flax crackers.
And
also.
then, that's right. We had
That's
some
right.
flax crackers, right? We wanted to have some nice little crackers because, again, that shrimp salad is going to be delicious on a shrimp cracker. So something nice and crunchy for everyone.
Yep.
All right. Well, Jeff, I'm looking forward to this meal. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Yep.
I think we're going to actually show some great technique. Happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Jeff,
Happy Father's Day.
is your cutting board ready to go?
Cutting boards ready to go, knives, and I think I plugged in the immersion blender already.
Here we go. Excellent. I think it's time to cook, Jeff.
Let's cook.
Let's cook.
But we're not cooking.
We're not cooking.
We're blending.
We're just kind of
Let's go blend.
Let's go blend.
We blend good.
Happy Father's Day, everybody.
Father's Day.
All right, Jeff, here we are. We're in the kitchen. We're going to make the bay shrimp salad,
yeah.
right?
These are wild caught
Wow.
Oregon bay shrimp.
That looks phenomenal.
Yeah,
How many pounds is that?
pound and a half.
Pound and a half.
Actually, yeah, and a little bit over. But it was on the scale. Maybe it was like 1 3/4 pounds. But I squeezed some of the water out of it.
Okay.
That was something that I should have asked the fish person to do. But these are really moist and juicy. And so roughly I would say 1.5 pounds of shrimp. And there'll be 3, if Sophie joins us, there'll be 4 for dinner tonight. And so if it's 1.5 pounds of shrimp here, that means if it's 3 of us, there's 1/2 pound of shrimp per person.
Wow, okay.
With the mayonnaise, with the vegetables, it should be enough for everyone.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. All right.
that's what's here.
Looking forward to it. Okay, so what are we going to put in this dish?
Okay,
All right,
so
how we assembling?
here's our mixing bowl. I'm going to put the shrimp
All right,
in
so
the
you're just
mixing
going to
bowl.
throw
You see
all
there's a
those
little
shrimp
extra
in
liquid
there.
in here, and that's okay. And I'm going to do something. What I want to do is I just want to gently mash these shrimps
I
and
was going to ask you,
and see if I can
going to like cut them up somehow?
and see if I can break them up. I want some shrimp whole, but I do want to make them a little bit smaller, so as we spoon them out, then they're nice serving.
Yeah,
nice
exactly.
servings.
It spreads out farther too.
Correct.
Right?
And simply just by using the fork, I can mash the shrimp. Again, leaving some totally whole, but mashing some so there's a matrix. And that's also going to pick up all the flavor of the mayonnaise and the seasonings I'm going to put inside.
Perfect.
All right. So, I mean, and how much I do it, I'm going to do it just about this much. Just I know that there's a nice number of whole shrimp in here, and there's a bit of mashed shrimp that will be the matrix of the salad.
Yeah, and you can be the judge of that when you're doing
That's right.
Right? You figure out what you want to do.
You don't have to mash it at all, or you can mash it completely.
That's true. You
So-
don't have to do any mashing at all if you don't want to.
Okay, so I'm happy with that.
Excellent. I like that. That's
And
excellent.
now I started prepping my celery.
Okay.
And so what I do is I take the celery like that, cut it across, like this.
Yeah, this is celery you've already cleaned and prepped and got
Yes.
ready to go.
Yes.
So now we're going to cut it up. So you're going to cut it up in cubes, right?
I would call this a dice.
A dice. Here we go. It's going to be a dice.
All right, so in classic French training, what you do is you do that first. You get them all like this, and you line them up, very organized. And then you take little parcels, and you
There you go. And you become a machine.
then you're the machine.
I like it. It's got to be part.
See that? And when you're this organized, you see how I can just draw from that pile.
That's right.
And
I love it. Like I said, you become a machine. Perfect.
And how much celery? Well, I have 3 really nice sized stalks right there. I thought 1 stalk per pound. A judgment call. Maybe you want more vegetable, more crunch. So you can add more. I definitely would not add less. I want lots of vegetable in here.
Yes, I was going to say I would use all that. That looks delicious. It's going to be phenomenal. Excellent.
Yeah, maybe
Absolutely.
just a wee bit more. And we can snack on, we'll just snack on those pieces
Yes.
along the way.
Little parcels ready. Here we go.
Little parcels.
Little
Yes.
parcels. Turn into a machine.
Production.
Get it done. And then voila.
Correct.
Voila.
Okay.
I like it. Perfect. All right, so we get the celery in.
Now, the richness, the cream,
Yes. Oh my
avocado,
goodness.
mayonnaise,
This
our
is-
favorite. Our favorite.
Yeah, absolutely our favorite. You know, a little creaminess there.
And there's, so I got 1.5 pounds of shrimp. This is roughly a 1/2 cup, maybe a little bit more.
I was gonna say it's like a third.
And
Yeah,
what
so
would
now
you say
you're
that
right there,
is?
about a half, I say.
Okay.
That's about a
And
half right
I
there.
don't
for
want
that.
the fork, I want a spoon to mix this. Already, it looks delicious.
Yeah.
Already.
Yep, absolutely.
And I suspect that it's going to take a little bit more mayonnaise when we're done. But
yeah,
everything
I would think
is,
so. Looking at what we have there already, yeah.
it's about making
let's-
sure everything is nicely
That's right.
coated.
I'm thinking hit it with some herb and stuff. See what it looks
Well,
like.
we do. I have herbs.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the seasonings that I like to use, and I love using
Excellent.
the umabushi vinegar
Yes.
on shrimp. I use it in
Love it.
coleslaw, It's a salty plum vinegar. You don't want to add much, but it does add a really nice vinegary and a salty flavor.
All right. That looked like about a quarter teaspoon to me. Maybe a half a teaspoon.
And then the Old Bay seasoning, and I'm going to do this in my hand so I don't accidentally dump half the can. Now, the umeboshi has salt, the Old Bay has salt, but the Old Bay has other seasonings here.
That's right.
And so I do want to make sure that I balance the salt with the salt that's in here, the salt that's inherent in the shrimp, and also any salt that comes from the Old Bay seasoning. So I can always add more, but I'm just going to maybe a half a teaspoon or so to start with, because you're going to taste this and
make your decision.
in that. Yep. And some lime juice. I think umeboshi vinegar and lime is a great combination. I used a fork. This is a way juicy lime. Look at that.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
Wow. Beautiful.
Beautiful lime.
Woohoo! And that'll cut that mayo a little bit too.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep. And the last thing, because you see how simple this salad is, I went out to our garden, and we've got chives and parsley here.
Perfect.
All just picked from our garden.
Perfect.
Green. You can use green onion. You can use red onion. I'm going to use red onion in the gazpacho, so I'm going to hold back the red onion in the shrimp, so I don't have onion in both. And because we're going to have raw. Both dishes are raw.
That's right.
So we'll put an ample amount of raw onion in the gazpacho.
Perfect.
But this part's fun here, having the herb from the garden.
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about this. We wanted some more herb in the garden in all of our dishes as much as possible.
Good, good, good.
I mean, look at how much green's in that. And just absolutely refreshing, absolutely
Always.
delicious.
And you've seen me cook quite a bit these past several months, and you know that I'm really big on adding green, adding herbs,
as much
adding
as
garden
we
greens.
can. I mean,
Yeah,
all you're doing is
they call them
enhancing and
nutritional
making it.
powerhouses.
Absolutely. You just,
And look,
I mean,
look.
who needs a vitamin when you get stuff like that, right? Just perfect.
No need for
Excellent.
supplements. Okay,
And I'm kind of surprised the mayo's still holding up with that.
I might not add more mayonnaise.
I know. That's what I'm looking at, too. It's looking
Little
pretty
crack of
good.
black pepper.
It's kind of holding on.
And I know that you and I,
no,
we're never
you and
shy
I
to
are.
add Tabasco, but we always need to be conscious of family members and how
That's right.
spicy we want to make things.
But in this dish, Tabasco
Oh,
is kind of the hot spice that should go in this. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, there's tapatio.
Yeah.
There's chalupa.
No, this is
right?
our standard go-to.
But Tabasco
for
for
something like
something
the Tabasco
like
and the
this.
Old Bay. You have two
Yes.
classic ingredients
Classics.
for seasoning.
Yes.
Again, there's cayenne pepper in the Old Bay, and this is spicy too. So just
a little enhancement.
just like that.
Boom.
We can always
I love it. I
Always
love
add
it.
more to your own serving. Always do that.
But I think
So-
that what we just did right there that was perfect, dude. I think that was absolutely perfect.
Well, the
When
proof
you're
is
doing
in
it
the
just like
proof is
that.
in the tasting.
Yeah, you know me. I'm going to add more to mine, but hey, I think for overall flavor, that's going to be
Yeah.
outstanding.
We do not need any more mayonnaise in this dish.
Perfect.
This is so wonderfully coated, and the salt is just right. The crunch from the celery, and just there's a little bit of heat that lingers from the Tabasco. But in all its simplicity, this is the wild-caught Oregon Bay shrimp salad.
Perfect, dude. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, so all of our dishes are going to be, need to be done cold. So this is a perfect dish to go ahead, get, in another bowl,
Yep.
chilled,
Yep.
and start our gazpacho.
That's the plan.
Excellent. Looking forward to it. Let's
All
do
right.
it. First dish is done. I love it, Jeff. I can't wait till we get
On
to
a
that.
really hot Father's Day, we're going to prepare some nice cold soup and salad for our meal.
Beautiful. Looking forward to it. All right. Talk to you in a bit. All right, Jeff. Here we are in the kitchen.
Yes.
We're getting ready to do the gazpacho.
Yeah.
Hey, what do we need for a gazpacho? Talk
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, gazpacho, it's a basic soup, it's a basic puree of a couple of raw vegetables. And the primary vegetable is going to be the tomato, some call it a fruit.
Okay.
Then I have these wonderful Persian cucumbers, which are a staple here in our house. We get them locally.
Yes,
at,
we get those
at the
particular.
market. Red onion. So these are all things that are going to be part of a puree. And I'm going to use a red bell pepper.
Perfect.
And I have some other vegetables in here, but they're going to be part of a diced component. So this is what I'm going to make the puree out of.
Okay, so those vegetables are going to get pureed.
These are going to get pureed.
But
and
the rest of them there, you're going to mince up.
make a fine dice, and so they become part of a more
Part
of
of
a
the
chew,
texture of the
part of the
soup.
texture of the soup.
Perfect.
So so here I go, and I've already got the tomatoes started.
All right, perfect.
And we want to show you what I do. And these are wonderful locally grown vine ripened tomatoes that I got at the farmer's market yesterday. So I have a little paring knife here, and I use my thumb as a little guide, and then I turn the tomato like that, and that's the way I get the stem out.
I see.
Okay.
Yeah, show that. Yeah, that is good.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
I
stem
see
comes
that.
out like that.
Perfect. Okay.
And then,
Oh, what a nice tomato.
yeah.
Look at those tomatoes.
Yep.
Those are nice. Beefy.
They are beefsteak tomatoes. Okay, like that, like that. You know, there's a little bit of white,
green
pithy.
there.
Yeah, so I'll cut around that. Like that.
Yeah,
maybe,
keep the good stuff. Keep the
Yeah,
good
certainly
stuff.
keep the good stuff.
Yes,
Yes, sir. That is one sweet tomato. Very sweet. Even the white part. Okay. I'm gonna save this tomato to be part of the textural component.
All right.
Okay?
All right, like I said, the rest of it's going to get chopped and then
We're
puree.
gonna do this. Let me just I'm gonna do the cucumbers.
right.
Right here. Cucumbers. A totally edible skin
Yeah,
on the
these are
cucumbers.
nice.
Do not peel
These
them.
are nice.
Really nice. And the immersion blender is going to get right in there.
All right.
Yeah. And so I'm going to prep these the onions and the red pepper. And we'll just see you right back.
Perfect. All right, Jeff. I think it's time to chop away.
I'll do it. Yo.
Yeah.
Yum.
Excellent.
A little more salt. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dice up some of the other vegetables they're in here. I have a kohlrabi. I have a yellow zucchini. I have fennel. That also is going to be, I'm going to dice that and make that a textural component. But here is our incredibly alive puree. It's not a classic gazpacho. I think I mentioned to you that sometimes the original gazpacho had bread in it. Certainly where we're going with our diet and the way we prepare food, there's no reason to put any bread in here. This is rich in water. This is rich in flavor. This is rich in nutrients, fiber. And not only that, but it's darn delicious.
Yes. This is going to be a phenomenal soup. I can't wait to try it.
Yeah.
And very, very refreshing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes,
And I haven't
looking
even.
forward to it.
And you see here, this is our garden.
Yeah, or they didn't even put that in yet.
And there's a reason for that, because I don't want to muddy the puree by putting these in here and have the green kind of bleed out into this beautifully rich tomato. This is gold here. It's delicious.
Perfect. All right, Jeff. Let's see the next part of this.
Yep.
All right, Jeff. Here we are. We're back.
Yep.
Now you've been, pureeing, and now you want to do what now?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to enrich the vegetables.
Yes.
By pureeing just maybe a quarter cup, couple of tablespoons of olive oil. It's user's choice.
Yeah.
And it's going to add, when I use the blender, it's going to make it creamy.
Oh, it's going to make
adds
them
a
nice and
cream
creamy
component.
and delicious.
Yes, I mean, there's so much water. We talked about that.
Yes.
While we were setting up, how much water is in here. These vegetables, how hydrating they are.
Yes.
This is a nutritional powerhouse that has vitamins, minerals, fiber, and water, essential
absolutely.
water.
This is going to be a beautiful, beautiful soup. I can't wait to have it.
And with that said, it can handle a little olive oil in here to make it rich and make it creamy. It adds to the flavor and adds to.
Well, looking forward to it. So show us how you do that. You're just going to add a little oil.
Yeah. So carefully measure. Blah blah blah. Maybe 3 tablespoons. 2. I mean, you can measure. And I want to puree it, and I can see as I do this that it creamed it.
Yes.
And it's an emulsification. You emulsify the oil into the water that's in here, and it's like adding cream.
Yeah, and it has a certain glistening effect, right?
That's right. There's a sheen.
A little glistening or sheen effect.
Now, in certain restaurants or certain applications, people would strain this soup. We put that through a strainer, and what would be there is this most smooth and creamy and rich puree. But we being whole foods people and understanding how important that fiber is, this is how we're going to serve this tonight.
Absolutely.
There's no reason.
No, I'm looking forward to having that. That's going to be a nice, beautiful, fibrous soup. I can't wait.
Okay, so not fibrous, but there's fiber in here.
There's fiber in it.
We're on a fiber soup. All right, so next thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to remove the blender from the soup, because now I want to add this other textural raw component to this. All these vegetables, and I have a fennel root.
All right.
I have a little more red onion, just a little bit of red onion. I have the kohlrabi.
Oh, the kohlrabi. You got a nice big one there.
Yeah, this is
that's a nice big kohlrabi.
At the farmer's market.
Excellent.
The other day. And also I'm going to just chop up this last tomato also, so there are pieces of tomato. In the end, we'll garnish with fresh herbs from the garden, and we can talk about what we would want to put in there. I'll have a recipe written that have suggestions, but here it's kind of it's our choice in the moment. We have basil, we have tarragon, we have rosemary, and there's thyme and parsley in here. So
yes, yeah,
this is the beauty of how we cook. This is the beauty of being here at this time when we have this.
Perfect. Okay, Jeff. So you're pretty much done pureeing.
Yep. I'll show you. I'm going to take this here.
Yeah.
This we go like this.
Time to chop.
See how that works, and you see how it's so easy to use the immersion blender. It's a wonderful tool. And
love it.
So this just gets unplugged, and this can be cleaned, which we'll do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mince these vegetables and then add them right to the soup, and then chill this while our shrimp salad is chilling right now. And then we're going to set out that enhancement tray. So can you imagine that we're going to have little goat cheese crumbles and maybe little green olives.
Ooh,
or maybe some macadamia nuts chopped up. So when you ladle a bowl of soup, now everybody can customize how they want to have their soup and keep the Tabasco, keep the hot sauce, maybe a little vinegar. Again, using the pantry. I even have some sun-dried tomatoes here that could be pureed in, or we can just chop in.
Or chopped up in, yeah.
So the only thing about this is, to be a purist, that this is a prepared food. Everything here is just totally nature made and raw. So just to keep it that pure, to hold that line, we can put this on the side, and anybody that wants it can use
True.
it.
Very true.
Sun-dried tomatoes.
Excellent.
So yeah, here it comes.
Let's go. Chop, chop, chop.
Chop, chop, chop. Okay.
This is what will speed everything up. You keep going that. We need to stop hiding towels.
I keep one here.
Yeah, I see you got one there.
Bruno taught me that one. He had two.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
doubt. Hey, when I played football, I had at least one. You gotta be able to dry your hands. Otherwise, Coach, my hands were wet. I couldn't touch that football. Perfect. Look at that. It's nice.
You like my technique?
Yeah, it's nice. Very nice texture on those.
Kohlrabi.
Yeah, the kohlrabi. Kohlrabi. Ooh.
Tender. See the way the knife just went right in?
Yeah, it went right through it, didn't
Oh my
it?
gosh, you saw that. If I knew
Yeah,
it.
this one's a nice beauty. Ooh, yeah.
You can eat that.
Yeah, probably. I was just going to say I want these. Yeah. We're just kind of filming right now. We're going to be on fast mode. This is going to be on fast mode. So,
Dinner time.
for the dog, I can see. You already had the red onion in, huh?
But not all.
Uh-huh.
Judgment.
Yeah. See where we're at. Yeah. Oh. I think you want that in there too.
Parcels.
Yep, here we go. It's little. Oh, we're gonna put this one in too, huh? All right. We doing the whole thing?
No, just a portion. Like maybe, you can choose which half. And have a little yeller in there.
Stack them up. All right, very nice, very nice.
Brunoise.
Right?
Brunoise, that's the French term?
Is that what that is?
Yep.
Brunoise?
Yeah, and I'm not sure how to spell it, but yep.
Huh. Interesting.
Now this unit here,
Yeah, the serrated one. Yeah, you need the
careful with
serrated
your
one.
point.
I know, you gotta be careful.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that beefsteak. Ooh, nice.
Bistecca.
Beefsteak. Ooh, yeah. Very nice. Yeah, careful. Don't get crazy.
When you see the skin poses.
Yep, exactly.
Love the cutting board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when it don't move, right?
More water.
Yep, more water. More water. Perfect. And someone over here is happy. Right, young lady? Yep. Put that water in there.
And that,
Oh yeah.
like that.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, look at the color showing up on that one.
All right, so where should we go now? Should I chop some herbs and put them in there?
Well, I think we're. I'd say finish off the rest of that tomato and throw some herbs in. You didn't put any pepper in yet, but I think that part should be for us. I think that needs to be
we
a
do a
topping.
twist. Yeah, oh, we didn't put the jalapeno in too.
That's what I mean. We didn't put that.
Oh, that pepper. I just meant this pepper. Okay, that pepper.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Yeah.
Oh, could be some nasty seeds there.
That's what I mean. I can smell it from here.
Yep.
That way.
Glad I'm not wearing my contact lenses today.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think? How does it feel?
It feels like we shouldn't put more than maybe. I gotta sharpen this knife too. Look at these things. They just want to be. They just want.
Yeah, they find their way.
Yeah.
They,
This one wants to be minced, so it's dispersed.
yeah, this one's got to be des buzz. All right, and then I put that in, and then we are good to go. Right?
Yeah, and this will take a little time to open up.
Yes, exactly. You feeling it? Yeah?
Jump in, Coach.
Let me try.
You got goat cheese, you got flax crackers, you got olives.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. So we're in. I'm in. It's going to be great.
Woohoo!
Okay, Jeff. Now this is the third part, right? So
Yeah.
we did the puree.
Yeah.
Then we put the vegetables in that added some texture to
Yeah, and-
our
yeah.
soup, and it looks absolutely delicious.
It's a liquid salad.
That's right. Now we're gonna chop up some herb.
Yep.
Right. We're gonna add some herb. So what herb are we gonna add to this dish?
Well, yeah, we talked about that before.
Yes, we did.
And I made it your choice, and things that you selected were some thyme.
That's right.
All right, and you know the beauty of it is this all comes right from your garden.
Right from the garden.
Right from the garden. So I'm gonna just maybe take a little bit of thyme leaf like that. And sprinkle it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have tarragon.
Tarragon. Yeah.
And this could be very assertive, so
That's right. You gotta be careful with tarragon. It can be a lot. So.
But just to have all of these wonderful fresh herbs and flavors in there, and basil.
Of course.
And there's two kinds of basil. We have the regular traditional basil, and we have a purple basil.
And the purple is going to be great in this dish.
They have different flavors.
That's right. So I think some people wonder what to do with the purple, but hey, I can tell you, this dish is going to be great in this dish. So.
Now, can you imagine? I mean, the flavor in the vegetables that are in here, and these tomatoes are so ripe and so sweet that it's almost a sweet soup.
Yeah. And I can smell those herbs you're cutting right from here. Yeah. I mean, they're delicious.
And then what I like to use a lot, and this was my choice, we have parsley and chives from the garden.
Yeah.
This is my standard go-to. I like using lots of stem. This piece was a thick piece, but here I go. And you've seen me do this before.
Oh no, this is great. I love this chop. This is a great chop.
Yeah, Coach. If we can get people to understand
just
how wonderful this is,
that was an incredible vitamin you just added to that.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. The flavor, the vitamins we added to that, the minerals. Oh my goodness, the enzymes, incredible.
All live food. There's nothing in here that's cooked. This is all raw.
Going to be a great soup, Jeff. Okay, so once we've added the herb, it's pretty much what? What do you think? It's time, once you flavor it, it's time to chill.
The soup chills, we chill.
And so what do you think? How long should someone wait? What do you think? 25, 30 minutes?
Yeah, how hungry are you?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking for those flavors to meld, it'd probably take at least half an hour.
The soup will be better tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So but we're going to have at least some of it tonight. And the next thing that we're going to do is put out that enhancement platter. All right?
And I'm looking forward to that.
I'm going to chill the soup down and then clean the counter, clean my knives, clean the board, and then see what do we have in the refrigerator, in the pantry, that because we're not grilling tonight, because we don't have the oven on tonight, what are we going to put on the table aside from these wonderful, the soup that we made and the other thing that we made.
The shrimp salad. We made the shrimp salad. It's going to be on Radicchio and the Endive and stuff.
Right.
All of that with this soup is going to be absolutely phenomenal. And I'm so looking forward to the enhancements because the enhancements on that.
I got avocado.
That's right. We have olives. We've got goat cheese. We've got olives. We have sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is now going to be that substitute for the grill.
That's right.
The substitute for your steak or for your grilled chicken. But we're going to have such abundance, and the flavor and the nutrition is going to be right where
Jeff.
Needs to be.
Looking forward to it. Let's get to the next step.
We're doing it.
Talk to you in just a bit.
Alrighty.
All right, Jeff, we're back. Oh my goodness. Look at the spread we have right here. I love it, dude. Check this out. We've got our gazpacho, right? Delicious. We have some flax crackers. We've got, now what is this again?
That's pickled kohlrabi and radish.
That's right, the kohlrabi and radish. Then we've got a little enhancement platter to go with our gazpacho, right? Then we're going to have, then we have our shrimp salad, radicchio, endive, avocado, all the things to enhance that. An incredibly beautiful meal. There's nothing to cook.
Don't forget the
herring.
Herring.
Paula likes her little pickled herring. We have a little pickled herring here too. Okay. So like I said, this is something we had in the fridge. Things to enhance this meal. Nothing hot. Everything refreshing. We didn't have to really
spicy
cook.
Hot, but nothing temperature hot.
Nothing temperature hot. But hey, we can certainly have it, spicy hot. We have that option if we want to do that. We have our Tabasco and all of that. So we certainly can do all of that if we want. But there's no temperature hot. Hey, typically Father's Day is a hot day. There's no need to cook. we can do something nice and refreshing. I love the meal, Jeff. I can't wait till we enjoy.
Yep.
Great job.
There you go.
Hey guys, happy Father's Day. We'll see you at Fireside. See you at Fireside.
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 Don't need the fire though.
Maybe not. We'll see. Hey guys, Mike White here, your high performance coach, along with our chef, Jeff Houtman, our high performance chef, and Jeff. Hey, happy Father's Day to everyone. Jeff, happy Father's Day to you, right? Oh my goodness, what a great day we had today. The gazpacho was outstanding,
Wasn't it?
right? And I think like when we look how other people do a gazpacho, I have to tell you how we did it today with the enhancements, right? Because I can truthfully tell you, when I had a spoonful of that gazpacho with like an olive in it, or with
Goat cheese.
the goat cheese. Oh, the goat cheese, the creaminess of the goat cheese through that.
Yeah.
It just permeated through and just made it so incredible.
And you can portion control when you do that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, the macadamia nut. That was the other one. A spoonful of that with the macadamia nut in it.
Yeah. It's hard to portion control mac nuts.
It was outstanding how delicious that was. Also, too, if you really think about how nutritious that was.
Yeah, we do.
Just
we think about
absolutely phenomenal nutrition. Nothing was cooked, which means there were no harmful toxins created in the process, right? And the fact there was so much great water in all those vegetables, right? Especially the tomatoes, all that beautiful water that was in there.
Did you see how that pureed up without adding anything?
Pureed out gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
Then, of course, okay, so we have that.
Yeah.
Then we have the enhancements, right, to go on that. But that doesn't mean the enhancements are just just for this gazpacho. Because hey, look, we had that shrimp salad.
Wasn't that something?
That was outstanding.
So
And
simple. So
I
simple to
hey, I
make.
threw some goat cheese on top of that too. And a couple other little things too. So absolutely delicious.
And all the leaves to wrap it with.
Well, like I said, we had the Radicchio, we had the Endive, and we had the butter lettuce. And
leaves from our own garden as well.
And I had a fair portion. I mean, I ate my fair portion of all of that, all those leaves. I had 2 helpings of the gazpacho. Like I said, love the olives, love the everything about it. It was so fresh. It was so delicious. I feel so incredibly energized. I don't know if you guys have noticed the difference, but I do feel incredibly energized because of it. So just a fantastic meal, a great Father's Day meal. Guys.
Without the grill, without the oven.
There was no grilling. This was a very, very simple meal. And again, we did our best to keep it as keto as possible, right? And I don't really think there was anything there that...
I think we hugged it pretty good.
I thought we hugged it pretty good. So this was another great keto meal that you could have, uncooked, fantastic meal, Jeff.
That's a key part
Highly
of tonight's
nutritious
meal.
Highly nutritious meal. Absolutely. I'm very, very proud of what we ate today. Yep. Jeff, fantastic job.
Thank you.
Happy Father's Day to you.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the rest of you guys out there. If you like our show, hit subscribe down below. We do this all the time. Hey, wait, we don't. We only have 2 weeks left, right? Because season 1 will be over with, and that'll be almost 70 recipes for our first cookbook. So, guys, we only have a couple weeks left. Hit subscribe. Well, we have some other videos I still need to add to bring this back up.
Yep.
But, hey, cookbook is on its way. Guys, it's a coach and chef. Mike White, your coach. Jeff Houtman, your chef.
High performance.
High performance. Jeff, great job today.
Thanks, Michael.
Excellent. Okay, Jeff, one of the things I actually did want to make sure we talked about was the fact that the technique that we used to make the puree, we had to depend on something we don't normally depend on, right? Because I mean, we're a kitchen that does a lot of stuff, so we have certain tools in our kitchen. But most of the time we're on video, we're talking. We have a cutting board, we have a couple of knives, right? Our bowls, different little tools. But one of the things we brought out today was a tool that I find to be just an absolute necessity to have in the kitchen. And what was it?
It's an immersion blender.
An immersion blender.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
please explain what an immersion blender is.
It's opposite a blender where the blades are on the bottom and you put stuff in on top and it works that way.
Yeah.
An immersion blender is a stick that has a heat-proof blade, so you can actually use it in hot liquids, and so it blends things from above.
That's right.
And
That's right.
it can be very useful because the difference between using a food processor or an immersion blender, a food processor has a limited capacity. Immersion blender can go deep into big pots
You can
and
make
big bowls.
big batches. Big
without having to
batches.
transfer.
You
Without,
can you can put it in heat. It's basically a handheld blender.
It's a hand.
Right?
That's
it's
exactly
basically a
right.
handheld
Much
blender.
easier to clean too.
It has a long neck on it, so it's not close to your hand, so it can go deep into bowls.
Correct.
It can go deep into, like, in fact, to me, having something pitcher-like, if you want to really
the taller the cylinder,
the better.
Yeah,
it works,
so that would be
right?
like when a blender jar like that.
That's right.
So yeah,
That's right. So I love this tool, and like I said, it's one of my favorites because you can do it in high volume, you can do it in heat, you can do it in cold, right? I mean, I love the fact that you can have a soup, you can cook vegetables, and then just pull that thing out and just boop, right there in the pot, all hot.
Yeah, you saw, and we did it
right?
with the tomatoes.
And next thing you know, you've got a nice puree.
Things are liquefied.
That's right. Things are liquefied. It does a fantastic job. So that is, again, what we call it again?
Immersion blender.
An immersion blender, folks. They're out there. There's different brands out there.
Lots of different brands.
A total necessity to have in your kitchen.
Yeah, good tool.
The other thing that
Good
we like having in our kitchen is a food processor. We'll talk about that in a different video, but today it was about the immersion blender.
Yes,
so,
it was.
great job, Jeff.